Next up, we have the juggernaut, the machines. That is the champions, Liverpool.
Take it away, Baron. Liverpool.
Yeah, so Liverpool, obviously, amazing season last season. I think they'll be a bit disappointed not to break Premier League tally points record. They should have made 100, but obviously struggled towards the end, losing against teams like Arsenal. But they signed a Greek guy. I to be honest, I've never heard of him. Simiakis, I've never seen him play.
Yeah,
he's a left back, isn't he?
Backup right for Robertson. I
exactly,
think.
Yeah. And
he's
young guy.
He's supposed to be pretty good, though, to be honest.
Yeah. And I trust Klopp's judgment because he's 24 years old. He's not exactly that young. He's obviously a proven player, but they haven't made any other signings. They've just basically cleaned the squad up a bit. Got rid of Lallana, got rid of Nathaniel Klein and Dejan Lovren. Yep. So it's a tricky one with Liverpool. Obviously they're going to have a lot of pressure. They set the bar high for themselves, and the expectations are going to be extremely high. However,
what does Baron expect?
I already know where he's going.
I think they're going to struggle this season, and I think they're going to drop off. I think they're going to drop off.
Go third, aren't you? You think they're going to go third, didn't you?
Yeah, I think obviously they'll still be in the Champions League spots. And I think that they might have a lovely cup campaign. FA Cup or Champions League possibly a good run. And I think that they'll finish third. I think they're going to finish third.
The disrespect. Tag.
Yeah, I mean they won the league considerably, right? By quite a lot of points. There was a big difference.
Ridiculous point, isn't it?
Yeah, they had 99 points. Man City in second place on 81 points. Man City had lost 9 games. Liverpool had only lost 3. And to be honest, they lost those last couple only because the league was already sewn up a long time ago. I think if they were fully on it, they would have probably beaten that record points total. Yeah. But I think they were too busy in celebration mode by that point. I think, I'm just going to say it, I think they're going to win the league again, back to back.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they were too far ahead. I think they're too good, well-oiled machine. One of the few teams that know who the hell they are, like inside out. Everyone knows exactly what their role is, exactly what they're doing. Mm-hmm. They're very well-oiled machine. Klopp's got them playing fantastically. Some fabulous players there. There's not really any rumors of any of their big players being torn away by Real Madrid or Barcelona too much. There is interest in Mane, but I don't think that will come out. I think Liverpool would be stupid to sell any of their players for even for the big prices, like any of their regular starting 11 anyway. I think there's talk of Wijnaldum leaving. That could be a big one. But they've got ready-made replacements already, and if he goes, there's talk about them replacing him with Thiago Alcantara, so not a bad replacement.
He doesn't want to come to the Premier League.
Well, that's not what. Yeah, I mean, that's not what I heard. I heard that he's desperate to leave Bayern. He's wanting to leave some time, even despite everything that they managed to achieve. That he was still keen to leave. But Liverpool, for some strange reason which I just don't understand, have said unless someone goes, we're not going to bring anyone in. So. Yeah, that's where their position is, and I think it's a mistake because I think Thiago is the kind of player who just guarantees you the title. Once you've already got that well-oiled machine that they've got, to have that additional player, like you look at Man City, they got De Bruyne, and all these top teams normally have that special player in a deep position, right? Liverpool don't have that player. It's not really their style, but I think it could be their style for those games which are hard, where the team is just boxed inside their own box, got the 10 buses parked, the Mourinho games. You could use an Alcantara in those games. And I think it's a big mistake because he's going to be a free transfer or a very cheap transfer. I think that's a big mistake that they're not going all out for him. They also could have had Werner, right? They had Werner sewn up and they just decided not to pounce on it. And Chelsea snapped at it and got him for the 50 million.
I heard differently. I heard that he wanted to come to Chelsea. No, but that's what I've heard.
Yeah, I'm sure anybody wants to go to Chelsea when you're talking about wages times 5. So, mate, if Arsenal offered me 50k to go sign for them tomorrow and Chelsea, Roman Abramovich comes in for me with 250k, I'll be kissing that badge, don't you worry. Anyway, over to dog meat. First place, Liverpool, champions again.
Yeah, so Liverpool again were easily the most consistent, dominant goals from mainly Salah, Mane, lots of contributions with Trent, Robertson, and all that sort of stuff coming in. And to be honest, Liverpool did win a cup, 5 or 6 games, some close games, really, really late. They won a fair few by the odd goal, and you just felt that, not to quote a Liverpool fan, last year was their year. So I think that they'll get a little bit less rubber the green. I think people will look at games like Watford, games like Arsenal when they played them, and try and combat the expansive fullbacks and maybe park the bus a little bit more with them. I think it will be a much closer title chase next year. City, I think, will get better. Pep will get them a little bit more hungry. I think Liverpool will drop off. Their hunger may not be as much now. Wijnaldum is looking like he's going to leave with 1 year left on his contract and maybe hooking up with Koeman at Barca. Love Liverpool, love Klopp. I've got a feeling that they will just get pipped next year, and I think they'll finish second.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Next up, Manchester City.
Fantastic team. Obviously, bitterly disappointed with last season's, to be honest, performance. Losing 9 games, like Tank touched up on earlier. Yeah, it's with the squad that they have and the magnitude. Losing 9 games is very poor. 81 points. Is it 18, 19 points behind Liverpool? Yeah. They are bitterly disappointed with that. This year, I think they'll put it right. Although, like Leroy Sané, David Silva, the great Claudio Bravo is gone. However, I like these players that they signed. Ferran Torres, a lot different from Leroy Sané. Doesn't get you all those goals or assists. His isn't that spectacular. But Luis Enrique, the Spanish manager, said that he's one of the best crossers of the ball in the world. So maybe we'll see some of that ability next season. Yeah, Nathan Ake, good backup defender. Obviously, a good squad player. I think he's going to do well. And Koulibaly possibly coming in. Who knows? But they definitely need a centre back. 100%. If they get that right, if they don't get it right, I think they're still going to finish first. Champions. They're going to, champions.
Yeah, so I'm going to totally disagree with you. Yeah. Like you said, losing 9 games, they're very, very lucky to be finishing second in the league, in my opinion, with a 9 games loss. That's just unheard of in traditional Premier League in the last 10 years. It's been a lot better contested in general. So I think that's very, very poor. I think Guardiola had an atrocious season, really. They won the Carling Cup, right? I think they did finish well. They won their last 5 games in a row. So that's pretty good. They start away to Wolves, so that would be a nice, tough start there. And then they go to Leicester, away to Arsenal, home to Leeds.
Oh, tasty game.
Tasty start for Man City. Yeah. I don't understand. You just said Ake. Like, I'm not going to call him a rubbish player or anything, but I cannot get my head around this one. Like you said, I think they desperately needed a centre-back. They got some guys who just aren't really that good. Stones didn't really live up to the hype. So Laporte is obviously one of the best defenders in the world. No one's doubting that. But he had the big injury last year. He does need a stable partner. And Ake, I'm just very surprised about this one. It's almost 50 million they paid for him. And
he's a top player.
I don't see him as a top player. I see him as a very much...
And he ex-Chelsea.
Ex-Chelsea.
Chelsea made him,
World class. I see him as sort of a bottom half of the table sort of player. Start for a Burnley or something like that. He's decent on the ball. A Chelsea, yeah. Actually, it's very surprising. I mean, I know Bournemouth are down, so we're not really going to touch on them, but they sold all their defence basically to the Premier League this year. There's quite a few Premier League players who've been dipping in there. As you said, also Callum Wilson is going to be taken by Newcastle, so a lot of people rating Bournemouth, and they seem happy to sell. So I don't think we'll see Bournemouth coming back to the Premier League anytime soon. But going back to Man City, I predicted that they will finish second. I think they will do better, but I think they need some serious investment if they're going to get that second place. I don't think what they've done so far is enough. Letting Sané go as well, I think that's a terrible mistake. Obviously, he wanted to leave, so it wasn't really in the hands. Yeah. But they've got to sign a big player. And losing David Silva as well. Foden is a very promising player, had a very poor game for England. One of the worst performances I've seen of him to date in the week. Anyway, second place, Manchester City. Pep Guardiola to pull it back a little bit. Maybe go for the Champions League again. But will City sack him if he doesn't get the Premier League and the Champions League again? Over to Dog Meat. What do you think?
Potentially, if he doesn't win the league or the Champions League, or gets, I think I read a stat that he hasn't gone past the quarter-final stage with any other team other than Barcelona. So I think that was the reason why Bayern fired him, or he left, or whatever. But you're seeing a consistent theme there with City as well. You know, for someone who's got a ton of backing financially from the club, Bayern and City, and he's not reached past the quarterfinals. That's a little shocking. I think he'll get there this year. However, you know, losing, was it 9 games last year we spoke about? A stat that may persuade them to get a bit closer. They did score 102 goals, at least, you know, 15, 20 goals and then more than Liverpool. And he only conceded 2 more than Liverpool. So for me, I think if City do get it right defensively, I think they will improve there. I think Liverpool will come off a little bit. I think they'll just nick it. But yeah, for me, City I think they'll win the league. I think they'll get a little bit closer in the Champions League, maybe a semi-final spot. But I think they'll just pip Liverpool this year.
Okay.
Interesting.
Next up, Manchester United.
Had a great end to the season last season.
They were unbeaten in their last 5 games. I don't know about older than that. I just have the last 5 game form guide.
Okay, so because I think they were on a 18th unbeaten run until Chelsea beat them in the FA Cup. They were on a stupidly long unbeaten run, but I think they had a great end to the season. Bruno Fernandes completely changed the whole team. The whole team looks so much better. Martial and Rashford, man, they're playing football that they never freaking played before.
I think you have to throw Greenwood in that as well.
Oh yeah, sorry,
big time. Well.
Yeah, 100%. All 3 of them, and Bruno Fernandes, the orchestrator. The other 3, that his puppeteers, you know. But yeah, fantastic job from Solskjaer. Also in the transfer market, interesting. They've brought Donny van der Beek, great player. Yeah, very very good player. But he's an attacking midfielder, sort of plays in the Bruno Fernandes position. So it's an interesting one. I don't know if they're overloading the midfield, by buying him, and then I don't know if he'll be able to fit into that team. So it's an interesting one. Yeah. And they haven't signed anyone else. I think I thought they might be signing a centre back, a left back. So he hasn't done those things. However, I think that they'll have a sort of good season. Maybe Man United fans will be disappointed. I'm going to say that they're going to finish 4th, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is probably going to be sacked at the end of the season.
So you think 4th deserves a sacking then?
I think that
think that Man United fans will call for it.
I think that he's got a good squad. I think they've got a squad to win trophies and do better, and I think that they will sack him because I think that he won't take them to that level, even though I think he's got the squad, and he probably, I don't know if they're giving him if they're not giving him money to sign the centre back or a left back, or if it's just I feel it's just him that he doesn't want to sign those players for those positions. So I think that he's going to shoot himself in the foot, and I think they'll get rid of him at the end of the season. So I don't think it warrants a sacking, but I think that they could get a better manager in who could take them to a title.
Yeah, I think you're pretty much right. I think he's done a very good job, to be fair. And like you said, that end of the season form was fantastic, and it wasn't just like a couple of games; it went on for some time. I think Bruno Fernandes' hype has been a bit overhyped. But but I don't want to say that he's not the world class player that everyone thinks he is, because I think he is a world class player. But I just think that, I've been looking at it for about a decade since Paul Scholes sort of left the scene, and they just didn't replace him. They've never replaced Paul Scholes, and I just found it very criminal. They had Scholes and Varane at that time, both doing that kind of a role, and they just never signed that player since they left. It's the same with Arsenal not signing a Vieira or Gilberto Silva. It just didn't make any sense.
Yeah,
those sort of players that brought them the dominance for the decades that they had, and then they just didn't bother to replace him. So I think Bruno Fernandes was just kind of like the missing piece in the jigsaw that made everything click. that brought out that extra 10% in different areas. That's really pushed them on. So that I don't think it's not like a one-man team kind of situation.
No.
I think Greenwood is a fantastic player. I think he's been a revelation. I think, we talked about Saka, Martinelli. We've talked about Foden. I don't know if you can call Mount a youth player. How old is he? Like 23? Hudson-Odoi. But like for me, like Greenwood, it was the pick of the bunch last season. A fantastic player coming through, and he's going to be a deadly, deadly forward. Yeah, so Man United, I think they'll have a very good season, but in my opinion, a very good season for that team, if they don't make any more additions, is third place again. So I think they'll stabilize. I think they'll get third place again. Like you pointed out, De Gea has been off the boil. Shaw is not really the top level. Lindelof is not top level. So there's still big problems at the back I think they need to sort out. They do play well as a team. He has got them quite organized. So I think they'll do all right, and I think they'll do well. But third place is the best I think they can hope for.
Okay. Yeah, I thought United surprised me over the break. I think since the restart, I think Ollie's done a great job, and I don't think he gets enough plaudits for it. Not having an out-and-out 9 and getting rid of Lukaku, putting Martial in that position, and then getting Fernandes in and around Greenwood and Rashford on the left. I do think they've done really, really, really well. I think they're finishing third last year. Although mocking Arsenal for years for finishing in the top 4, I think they I think crazy, they celebrated right? They celebrated that. I think Scholes or Keane, still thought that was it's nothing that they should be celebrating. But I think based on what they had, they've done well. I think Pogba is going to do a lot better for them. I think the likes of people like McTominay are not going to get minutes with Fred and Matic, but the Van de Beek signing I think will help them. Yeah, I think United will pretty much carry on a similar path. I think they won't really challenge the likes of City and Liverpool. I think they'll finish third. But I think anytime Man United will get a blip, I think they'll use that as an excuse to get rid of Ollie, which I think is a little bit harsh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next up we have Newcastle.
Steve Bruce, what he did last season to finish 14th, he's done really well. And I like players like Saint Maximilian. I think he's a terrific player.
Right? Yeah.
Maximan. Sorry, what do they call him? Maximilian. Anyways, Maximilian.
Maximus Aurelius Decimus.
Yeah. So Maximilian, he's a terrific player. I think he could play for a bigger team. So to keep him, to buy a player like that who did really well, I think he kind of similar to what Grealish did at Villa. They're not a spectacular team to watch. Quite gritty team, difficult to play against. Play on the counter. Steve Bruce is a good manager. Whatever. I mean, he's one of those sort of boring guys. Boring style, but he's still a good manager. He's got his tactics right on point. I think that Newcastle will finish exactly like they did last season, and I think they'll finish 14th. No improvement on that, and yeah.
Okay, I think they finished 13th last season.
Yes, they did. I was gonna correct him, but I mean, but anyway.
But they're gonna finish 14th this season, yeah.
They're gonna finish 14th, yeah, this season.
Okay.
Sorry, they'll drop down. Sorry, I do apologize.
So yeah, I actually think it's very alarming. They got 1 point from their last 5 games, lost 4 of their last 5 games, drew 1. I think they're very, very fortunate from my side not to get one of the relegation numbers. I think they'll finish just 1 above the relegation zone in 17th place. Yeah, Mike Ashley again. They cut him for another year, it looks like. The big deal fell apart, so not big investment coming. He is looking to make a couple of deals, though, to sweeten it a little bit. Callum Wilson, like we said, is likely to come 20 million. I think that's fee is already agreed, and it's just personal terms to sort out. They want to get Rob Holding on loan. I think they were interested in another Arsenal youth player for 8 million, Balogun. So they're making a few little adjustments. and they're much needed in my opinion. But yeah, they did finish in 13th place. That's a very good position, but I think they're going to be very lucky just to avoid relegation and finish in 17th place.
Okay. Again, just to reiterate, Newcastle finished 13th last year. Surprise high. I think Steve Bruce done really well for his squad, for what squad he had. Yeah. He brought John Joe Shelby back in, and again did very, very well. I think Newcastle fans are probably more frustrated than anyone with the constant saga of a takeover and trying to get away from Ashley and get some more injection of funds into the squad. However, I Callum Wilson will be a great buy for them. I still don't think that they're going to have the quality, and similar to Tank, I've got them down as 17th. I think they'll just miss the relegation, but by the skin of their teeth.
All right.
Interesting.
All right. Next up, Sheffield United.
Yeah, Sheffield United. What a fantastic season they had last season.
Crazy.
Terrific season. And beat Chelsea 3-0 as well. And, I thought they were very unlucky to lose against Liverpool. Liverpool beat them 1-0 in the is it Britannia? Whatever. Britannia. And it was a very, dodgy goal. Mistake from the keeper, and I thought Sheffield United were really unlucky to lose that game. And I thought this team has got a lot of grit, a lot of determination.
Solid, right?
Really solid, terrifically well oiled, and I love the wingers as well. Fantastic wingers, always attacking, really well managed. However, I think this year they're gonna struggle.
Okay.
I think that they're going to have the second season blues.
Yeah.
I think that
how bad these blues.
I think that teams will find them out, and I think they're going to finish 19th.
Oh wow, relegated.
Oh,
I think they're going to be.
I like that. Tasty.
I think.
Wow, what a prediction. Okay, I'll take over. I don't see that happening. Just straight out there. I think they obviously, I think they were the favorite team. Like a lot of people had them in their predictions last year to finish 20th last season. So for them to finish 9th, and even for most of the season, they were higher than that. So I think they had a fantastic season, very solid team, like we said. I won't go too much into it. I think, they'll be pretty consistent. They have signed a new goalkeeper of 20 million from Bournemouth again. Again, the raid of Bournemouth is happening.
Oh, yeah.
Ramsdale has joined them. So another very good goalkeeper that they've got. So that can only make them better.
I think Henderson, their original goalkeeper's gone back to United.
Back to United, right? He might even get that spot from De Gea,
Possibly,
but, we'll have to see about that one. A lot of United fans want that to be the case anyway. I've gone for 10th. One place lower than last season. Again, not really because of any disappointment from Sheffield United. I think they'll be pretty consistent. More to do with other teams doing better.
Okay,
interesting. Sheffield United, I think Chris Wilder has got a lot of praise. He likes to play a 3-5-2 system with wingbacks, 2 strikers up front. He's had, Billy Sharp up, Ollie McBurney, McGoldrick, rotates them really, really well. And, they tend to, sit behind with five at the back and then break from there. But they play a very good style of football as well. They're very well organized, hard to play against, and they've taken some points off, or almost taken off some points off some big teams. So they were a surprise package. They have lost their goalkeeper, who's gone back to United. They've picked up Ramsdale from Bournemouth, again, who previously played for them, and then picked up some other reinforcements. I think they'll have a slight blip and be not as effective as they were last year. I think they'll finish 11th. It'd be interesting to see how many teams will pay them more respect and do a little bit more homework on them. But they do play their games at Bramall Lane, not the Britannia. I think that's Stoke. But yeah, I think they will. They'll have a. I think they'll establish themselves as a decent mid-table Premiership side.
Yeah, I agree.
Nah, relegated.
Okay, next up we have Southampton, who took some Baron-style licks earlier on in the season with a 9-0 loss to Leicester. Baron, what do you think about that?
A 9-0 loss to Leicester, and to finish 11th in the league from that, and to conjure up all those wins. They didn't even lose in the last 6 games or 5 games. They didn't lose. But they were on a really amazing run, and Danny Ings, man, he definitely earned his England place. He fully deserved it to be in the squad.
I haven't heard a lot of teams like really linked with him. It's a bit surprising.
Right.
You might have expected a big team to take a punt on him.
That is true. But I'm glad that he's not been linked. I'm happy that he's staying at Southampton. Very integral to the way the team plays.
Why are you happy that he's staying at Southampton? Just out of curiosity.
Because I like Southampton. They're a good, decent team to watch. I think they've got a good manager. They're a bit like like Brighton. You watch them and you kind of have an admiration for the way they try and play. They're fun to watch, and Ings is a terrific player. He's not just a goal scorer. His hold up play is very good. He plays lovely with his back to goal as well. He can dribble with the ball. He's good with both feet. Terrific in the air. He's I think they had a great season last season, finishing 11th, and kept faith in the manager. After that 9-0 bollocking, I think they'll finish 10th.
Okay, and then
10th this season. Yep.
Okay.
Slight improvement.
Improvement. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've gone slightly the other way. I think.
I'm interested to see your predicted table. I think we'll have 2 or 3 differences, but anyway, go on.
Decent team, top level striker. He could definitely play for one of the bigger teams. I'm a bit surprised. I'm pretty sure that another big team will go for him at some point. They might give him one more year to see if he can back up what he did last season.
Yeah.
I see him as sort of like the perfect replacement for like a Vardy, who will obviously hang up his boots probably in a year or 2. So yeah, that could be one to watch. They've strengthened. They got a couple of defenders in for a little bit of money. Kyle Walker-Peters, the Lisu centre back.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, strengthening the defence a little bit and carry on from what they did last season. I think they'll be there or thereabouts, but I've put them in 13th place, despite, as Baron pointed out, a strong finish to the season.
Yeah, not really too much for me to add there. Just it's good to see that the club did support Ralph Hasenhuttl, or however you say his name. There you go, thank you. And he's done well. He's obviously used that 9-0 loss to sort of catapult their season. Ings has come in and done really well, leading the line with the likes of Shane Long. I think Southampton are just, again, they're a likeable side, right? They produce good quality players. They bring players through their academy, which is always really good to see, and then sell their best ones to Liverpool. But yeah, I think they will. They will do well, and I've got them finishing 13th as well. Next up, we've got the Mourinho's Tottenham. Baron, what do you think about them?
What do I think about them? Yeah, they're a nice team.
What do you think of Tottenham?
Oh, right.
What do we think of Tottenham?
Well, it's interesting that I was reading today. Roman Abramovich is apparently refused to do deals with Tottenham.
Daniel Levy. That doesn't surprise me. Nobody likes dealing with Daniel Levy. But then that's a compliment to Spurs, like the deals he's done over the years has been great for Spurs. But nobody likes dealing with Daniel Levy.
I think he likes to do deals with Arsenal now, doesn't it? But Spurs had a sort of moral victory last season, I would say. They're pretty much 5th or 6th thereabouts, and finishing 6th above Wolves was a bit of a moral victory, having finished in the Europa position. I think they'll take that. However, I think that they feel that they can improve from what they did last season. I don't think they'll they're not a top 4 team by all means. They need more more signings to be able to compete with the top four, or if they want to have hope of the Champions League positions. They signed Hodgberg from Southampton, decent player, very Mourinho-esque, hard as nails, and loves to go into tackle hard. You got Joe Hart, nice backup goalkeeper, replacing Vaughan, who they got rid of. And they got Matt Doherty.
Very good signing.
Very good player. So all three of those, well, and not Joe Hart, but those other two players are very Mourinho-esque kind of players. They're very hard-working, dogged characters. They got rid of Jan Vertonghen. I was quite surprised about that. He's a bit of a somewhat a Tottenham legend.
Free transfer though, right?
He's Asian though, right?
Yeah. He is. He's just been released. I don't know.
No, I think his contract expired.
His contract expired.
I think he ran it down. They wanted him to sign, but he wanted to leave.
All right. Okay. So I didn't know about that. But I think it's a bit of a surprise that they're getting rid of him. They do need 2 or 3 other players. I think Mourinho is already looking at some guy called Habib Diallo. Nice striker. Apparently, we'll see what happens there. I think that they'll improve from what they did last season, and they'll finish 5th.
Okay. I think Doherty is a fantastic signing. I think he's one of the best fullbacks in the league. So I think that's very good business from their side. I think, to be honest, I thought that they would kick on because they had some big injuries, right? To very key positions. Son, Kane were both injured. Who was the other guy that they have on the right? Bergwijn, he was also injured for a big period at the end. So they had all their attacking talent basically injured all at the same time.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
So that was very harsh on them. So and then I was looking at it this season and thinking, Mourinho, very good manager. I think they'll probably finish higher this season. But then I look at it and I can see 5 better teams than them still. So I've actually backed them to finish 6th again. And yeah, that's basically where I have Spurs for the season, 6th place.
Nice.
Okay, well, it's a little bit weird. Spurs, I think, have changed their style a little bit under Mourinho, and with Pochettino, I really admired the way they played. They were attacking. Big fan of Son. Big fan of Kane and some of their other players, Sissoko and all that. But I don't know. I've got a feeling that they're going to have to change that a little bit. I know a few Spurs fans don't like the way that they're playing. I think they sit and spring a little bit more as opposed to dominating possession. The Mourinho style of maybe not wanting to lose more than probably wanting to win. They picked up obviously Southampton centre midfielder Doherty and Hart, and they've released sort of a Tongan and Wanyama. Wanyama was a player I always sort of liked and didn't want him to play against us, but I think he's gone to the MLS. But I don't know. I've got a feeling that Mourinho's lost his touch a little bit. He's not going to have the financial backing of previous clubs. I've got a feeling they're gonna dip down. I think at the end of this year, maybe Harry Kane will leave. I think they'll go from 6th to 8th next year.
Okay.
Yeah. Next up, one of my good mates actually supports these guys. I don't know why, but West Brom.
West Brom.
What you got for us for West Brom? Where did they play their game?
They played the game in the Hawthorns. Hawthorns, managed by managed by Slaven Bilic or Bilic. Yeah. They had a good season last season from what I know. In the top 2 for a while, weren't they? Challenging for the title. They were consistently in there in the top 2, and yeah, they fully deserve to be in the Premier League. However, I don't know too much about them, and I think I've seen some of their players not overly impressed by anyone because I don't know too much about them, the players. So it's always a bit of a danger. They did sign this guy called Grady Diangana from West Ham, who apparently David Moyes was wanting to keep him, and they apparently went behind his back and sold him. So
Mark Noble was also coming out, right?
Yeah.
And very upset about the whole situation. As captain, he was saying, I'm really disappointed with this decision.
Yeah, exactly.
And that he's going to have a very bright future. So
Yeah, so that's
interesting one.
interesting one. Yeah, so it sounds like a good signing for West Brom. However,
Where do you have them?
I've got them finishing bottom of the league, 20th, bang bottom.
Yeah, to be honest, this is the first one I agree with you on.
The first one,
isn't it?
Nah, we've had some.
No, I don't think you've had the same. Me and Tank have had the same. I don't think we've got the same. Had the same one with anyone.
It might be with you, more similar. Anyway, go on.
I think this is the first one we're agreeing on, and I've got them rock bottom. They have signed 2 decent wingers, like you said, Diangana and Pereira, left and right winger. So that should help them a little bit, but I do have them rock bottom. I think that they will be the worst team in the division. Decent finish to the last season, not really, I think they won 1 of their last 5, but quite a few draws in there. So yeah, they did finish second in the championship, but they were very close to a couple of other teams. So 3rd and 4th were very close to them. So they were quite lucky to get over the line then with that kind of end of season form. 20th place, going back down.
That Pereira, 16 assists, most in the championship. Charlie Austin with their talisman, 11 goals. With them, I think they're going to really, really struggle. I think they could get close to Derby's record lowest amount of points in the Premiership next year. I'm gonna throw that one out there. I think Bilic is a good manager. I don't think he's going to have a good enough squad. Obviously, he's been in the Premiership already with West Ham. I don't think that they're going to do too much. I think they're going to be the Premier League whipping boys. I see Chelsea probably knocking 5 past them. I think I've got them rock bottom. So I'm gonna join the 2 amigos to make 3 amigos, and it's going to be 20th for them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Sorry, West Brom fans.
Sorry. Anyway, someone's got to go down, right?
There's home at Leicester for the first game, then away to Everton, home to Chelsea, away to Southampton, home to Burnley.
Okay, moving on. West Ham. Let me just give a special mention to Dog Meat there, our championship correspondents. Anyway, back to a Premier League correspondent here. West Ham. I think they're going to do well. I think they're going to be one of the surprise sort of packages this season. I think David Moyes got more time this season. Towards the end of the season, I thought they played nice football. They're a good team, very solid, good manager. David Moyes is managing a team in his sort of realm or in his level. They signed Thomas Souček, who had a good season last season.
Is he a replacement for Declan Rice?
He's more of a winger.
He's more. No, he's a
defensive midfielder.
He's a defensive midfielder who can play in an attacking role as well. Scored a couple of really important goals, especially very dangerous in the corner. He's like, he's a very tall, languid player. But languid, kind of lanky. A bit kind of looks a bit lazy, but can still move, quite well. Like Crouch.
I know exactly what you mean. I did a race once with a guy who was like, I don't know, fucking 6'5" or something. He's just a skinny, geeky kid, and he just fucking toasted me.
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't even look like he was moving. He just fucking his legs were so big that it took me 5 strides for every one of his one.
Exactly. That's what Souček is like. I think that they're going to finish 11th this season. Yeah, I think they're going to have a good season.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I actually did somewhat similar. I picked them because they finished 16th last season, so quite low. I predicted that they will finish 14th. But I'm looking at their start to the season, and that is rough. Like playing, Newcastle, they should start with a win, hopefully for them. And then Arsenal, Wolves, Leicester, Spurs. So that's tough. And if just a bad start can really put you off to kind of getting stuck
pressure
there.
On, pressure on, right?
So I think that would be quite difficult for them. But I have actually put 14th place. I think that could be my biggest wrong prediction. Let's see.
Don't worry, 11th.
I think my one could be Everton. That's a hit or miss. I've gone with they're gonna do something, but we'll see. West Ham, really good sort of end of the year, right? 2 wins, 2 draws in the last sort of 5 games. Moyes has got that Mikel Antonio who scored. I think he was one of the most prolific strikers since the restart, right? I think he even scored 4 in one game.
He did, yeah.
So if anyone had
he's not even really a striker, right? Didn't he start as like a fullback?
Yeah, like a wing back. I think he played a little bit. Fullback. Yeah, he's one of those ones. He's big.
He's like Kolo Toure. Now they just put him up front.
Right. He's big. He's strong. He's athletic. Right. And he's just a handful. Right. Sometimes the product isn't great, but he did score that winner against Chelsea.
He's an athlete. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's an absolute athlete. Yeah. I'm going to go a little bit away from where you guys. I'm going to say they'll just improve slightly on their 16th finish last year to 15th.
Okay. Yeah.
15th. So a little bit better there.
Interesting stat, incidentally, from Mikel Antonio. 50% of his goals are from headers.
Yeah, he's very good in the air. Yeah.
Very good lead.
16 of 32 goals from headers. Crazy. I didn't know that. Sorry.
No worries. Wolves, last up. Great manager, good team, really exciting to watch. I almost think that you love this team almost as much as you love Chelsea sometimes.
Dickhead. No, I just like to emphasize the differences between Arsenal and Wolves. Sort of similar sort of position in the table, but I pine for Wolves in terms of quality and lust.
Okay.
Anyway, enough of my lustful Wolves.
You love them, Southampton, Chelsea. Who else do you love? Anyone that plays against Arsenal as well. That's you love them.
No, it's not like that. It's not like that.
Yeah.
They had a great season last season. Fantastic season, and a bit. I think it'll be very disappointing with the Europa League loss. They got dumped out by Sevilla. In a sort of their performance was really poor in that game. It was so surprising. Like, this is a free-flowing kind of attacking team who like to keep the ball, but they failed to do that, and they only ended up having like 20% of the ball against Sevilla. So it was a bit of a footballing lesson against the sort of big boys, and gave me an indication of the ambition of the club. As a whole, what they can do against the big boys, especially in Europe as well. However, I think that they'll still be there or thereabouts in the top half of the table, similar to what they did last season, and finish 7th. They did sign this 18-year-old guy for a record of 35 million. I've never heard of him. Never seen him play.
40 million, right? It's Like, I was looking into Fabio Silva. I never heard of him. But yeah, as soon as I saw 40 million, you kind of take a glance. Yeah. Like you said, 18 years old. From what I gather, he's only scored 1 goal.
Yeah, only played
in 12 games. Yeah. So it's a bit of an odd one. But apparently, I've heard some of the reports, and a lot of the hype is there. Okay, I just hope that they haven't been sold on like a Baron hype here, not. We all know how Baron likes to hype about his young players being the next big thing. And I hope that they haven't been speaking to the wrong agents here. Oh, God. Imagine Baron as a football agent. Did you give your prediction, Baron?
I did, yeah. I think they finished, 7th.
7th, okay.
Yeah.
So same again. They finished 7th last year. I'm actually going with 8th again, 1 place off. Not because I think they're going to do bad. I just think that the big boys are back. But I really, really like Wolves. I'm totally in agreement with you. Very technically gifted side, tactically well drilled, very good to watch, pleasing on the eye. So yeah, I just find that an odd one. Like 40 million in this market, what you could get for 40 million. You got Timo Werner, right, for 50 million.
Yeah.
Like, he's been doing it for a long time. So do find that a bit odd. 40 million for this guy, for this kid, unproven. But if he really is the deal, that could be a big one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've gone for 8th place as my last prediction for the teams in the Premier League for Wolves. Over to Dolby, where do you see them finishing?
In and around where they were last year. To be honest with you, I think they've done well to keep their stars. You got Jimenez, you got Jota, you got Traore, you got Moutinho, you got Neves. They've got quality all throughout. Be interesting to see, how they fill in that void of Doherty leaving. I think similar to Arsenal, Wolves have their own little claws into the best little Portuguese stars. They love their Portuguese contingent, right? We love our Brazilian, right?
Yeah. But the difference is we got Martinelli for, what was it, next to nothing, right? I think practically a free transfer. And this guy, 40 million.
Yeah, they got some good deals though on certain other players, I think.
Yeah.
But they're a really good team. I really like their manager. I really like they play 3-5-2, 3-4-3 as a system I tend to like a lot. And they got some really, really nice players. So if they keep those players, add a little bit more, maybe at the back, I think they'll be fine. They've got a good goalkeeper as well. Barron really likes him. I know that. But I think that they will finish 6th. I think they'll finish one higher than where they finished last year. So I've gone one higher and you've gone one lower.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, that's kind of the teams wrapped up. So before, like, the next episode, I think will be the sort of transfer deadlines. And so to kind of set that up, we'll put a poll on our Twitter, TDS_the Dog Show. And sort of, who do you think will be the best new signing of the window? Obviously, we still got a month to go at this stage. We hope you enjoyed our analysis. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and have a good week.
Easy. Take it easy, man.
Peace.
Bye-bye.